All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. Happy Friday. Woo! Man, it is hot outside. I might have to hold this a little bit closer to me today. I'm in a standing position if you can recognize where I am, come and see me and say hi. We're in a secret back alley location today. And at least we found some shade, which is nice. My name is Nikki Darling, and it is going to be hot this weekend. I've got the weather scrolling there at the bottom. We've got 100 degree plus for our high temperature today, with nothing but clear skies and sunshine. So if you are going to be outside, please find some shade, put on some sunscreen, and hydrate. Tomorrow we're seeing another day of clear skies and 96 degrees for your high temperatures. And then on Sunday, we've got another high in the mid 90s, about 95 degrees for your high temperatures. So I'm just gonna move this around a little bit so it's not so fussy. Oh, yay, you got him. Grayson is here. He's got a microphone. This is the plug that you need. Okay. So we are broadcasting live today. You can interact with us through our chat line. We've got that open, 509-795-5602, or whatever platform you are seeing us on, you can also interact with us through the chat. So we're on 7 different platforms. So 4 different Facebook pages. We've got a LinkedIn page, we've got a Twitch page, and then, 2 different YouTube pages, which is probably our most interactive as of right now, is over on our YouTube page. So you can subscribe. You can go back and see past episodes. They're all archived in our live tab over on the What's Up Wenatchee podcast page over on YouTube. We are a fully community supported podcast. And what that means is we have watchers, viewers, listeners, community members just like you who help support this podcast. We get new equipment, upgrade our equipment all the time, new microphones, new cameras, new streaming equipment. We are looking at getting some new speakers for our live shows and our karaoke events and our large scale event planning. So we thank you for all of your support. The website right below me, www.supercast.com, that is where you can help support this podcast and all of our darling initiatives. And those initiatives are all community focused, community centric. We try and tell the stories of the people within our community, the community leaders, and the good that they are putting out into our city, and be positive first. So if that aligns with what you are about here in the Wenatchee Valley, because we are expanding to not just What's Up Wenatchee, we are expanding to What's Up Wenatchee Valley, to just more of you, because that is what you have asked of us. So if you are within the Wenatchee Valley and you'd like to support us, that Supercast community is where you can do that. And we give out exclusive content and ticket giveaways over there as well. But I don't want to get too much in the weeds about that. I got to take a drink here. It is hot. I should be drinking water, but I live off of energy drinks and ambition. That's true. It's so true. Oh, man. Thank you all for being here with us today. We're going to give you a lot to talk about, and let us know what you want to talk about too, because we know what we want to talk about, but we can only know what you want to talk about if you tell us. So interact with us through the text line or through the chat. What is on our agenda today? Grayson, you are not with me yet. We're getting there. Yeah, is that true? Okay. No. You're over here. We've got a camera and we've got a microphone. Okay. All right. You're getting there. All right. So what do we have in store for the show today? We are going to give you, we're going to do some recaps. So I've got some pictures to share with you and some video from Pangborn's Festival of Flight, which was so fun. I put on the retro model outfit and put on my bright red lipstick and went up to the airport, set up sound, and had lots of guys and gals, but a lot of those old pilot guys come over and say, do you know how to do the Rosie the Riveter pose? And I was like, oh yeah, I've got it down. So I did a lot of Rosie the Riveter. I did a lot of the, salute, and we took a lot of pictures. So I have some of that to recap for you. And then also, we did our very first Ladies' Night comedy up at Snowdrift Cider Company on Friday night. And whoa, let me tell you, wasn't that a day and a night? And we have a recap and some video of some of the comedians. We had April Castle, Michael Lee Miller, who dropped a bomb on us in the middle of her set. If you don't follow her or have seen the news that she shared with us via the show and then over on her social media. And then Lane Heichel. And I'll tell you why I have not been able to get Lane's name correct, or my philosophy behind not being able to get Lane's name correct. So we'll recap Ladies' Night. We have a couple of big events coming up. Tomorrow is the night market on the Ave. I know a lot of people are planning on attending the night market. This is like the second time I think they're doing this, and it is just taken off. We reached out to Josh over at Norwood to try and get him onto the program today, and he was like, thank you so much for the opportunity, but we are slammed. We are so busy in the thick of it right at that moment, trying to get everything together. So Josh, we are with you. We understand what it is like when you're in the light at the end of the tunnel, trying to dot all the I's, cross all the T's, put a good event together. We've been there. We'll be there again. So our Good Mojo vibes are with the people over at Norwood and the Wenatchee Downtown Association as they are putting together tomorrow night's night market on the Ave. And then also the Numerica Pack is doing their Pack Alley Cabaret in their back alley. And that is free. And they go in their back alley and they've set up some cocktail tables, and they got Crail Cellars and Horan Estates Winery right here, right in that alley. And and they will have some drink specials and the very, very talented cast of Kinky Boots, which is the Hot August Nights production for the Pack this year. Jamie Donegan Productions putting that on, will be on hand for the Pack Alley Cabaret to do some performances for the show, some musical performances. So that's 6:00 tomorrow night, and that's free. So very cool stuff happening this weekend right here in downtown Wenatchee and in the Wenatchee Valley. Of course, there's other things happening that we'll talk about and we'll mention. Finally, coming up on today's program, we'll talk about Have we confirmed that everything is up and up on the sound, video, everything's fine on the program? Okay. Nobody's told us we don't have any sound yet. Okay, good. Now I hear it. Perfect. Hey, did we actually get everything right on the first try this time? How about that? Wonderful. So lastly on the program today, we have stayed mostly away from talking about politics, although we have had the mayor, Frank Kuntz, on the current mayor, on to talk about the Confluence Parkway project and his other initiatives. So every now and then we do dip into the politics of the city and of our area. And right now, it is a very important time because voter pamphlets have gone out, right? I'm talking to Grayson because he lives in the city of Wenatchee. Full disclosure, I do not live in the city of Wenatchee anymore, so I didn't get a voter pamphlet for the city of Wenatchee, but your pamphlets have gone out. This is voting week. If you are not registered to vote, you still have time. You have until like Monday to register online or in person. And then you can even, I believe, register up until primary election day if you do it in person and you hand in your ballot in person. You'll have to look on the voter registration. You can go to WenatcheeValley.com that has voter registration information there. But we'll talk about the voter primary that's coming up in specific to the mayoral election and the candidates and what I have been having to deal with in the past week. But doing it in we're going to be giving out facts and data in a very journalistic way. So people, as they're filling out their voter pamphlets this week, have information. Because that's what I always say. I say, I'd like to be educated before I can fully make a decision, right? I'm on all sides of an issue. Give me all the facts, and then I can come to my own conclusion. Don't tell me how to make the decision. Tell me what decision to make. Give me the information. Give me the facts. Give me all the information from all the angles, and I will come to my own conclusion because I have a brain and I can critically think about the data. So I feel like as a public servant with a public forum, I have data and information that I can give that I think people will then come to their own conclusions. I think that's a pretty diplomatic way to introduce that topic. What do you think, Grayson? Are you going to join me on this program anytime soon? Ay, ay, ay. Holy moly. All right. He says he can't join us until he knows that we're good. Right now, we're about 12:15. The show does go until 2 o'clock. We do 2 hours of a live show every Friday. I just lower down this jam music here. Yes, I just said I'm going to turn down this background music. Want me to turn it down completely? All right, well, there it goes. It's gone. Music gone. I want to know, come over here so I can get you set up. And then I want to hear about how your week has been going. I have no idea if this camera is going to be in the right place at all, but we'll see. Try. But your mic is on, so we should be able to hear you.
Test.
Yeah, you're going to have to get it closer to you.
Just gonna need the microphone or the camera to be on.
I know. I'm working on it.
You do so much, I know.
We need updated computers is really what we need, because these computers are slow. Slow.
There we go.
You might have to hold the mic like I am, because yeah, you're kind of far away.
How's that? Is
and
that better?
And the camera will just come in time. Is
All
that
right.
even stable the way it is?
I can't hold it with the base. It's the best I can do.
Okay. You could just hold the microphone.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
HD. It's not a really a good microphone for this, but I don't know.
It's what we have for right now. Am I too loud?
No.
There's a lot of background noise, I know.
I know. Well, I haven't told where we are.
That's true.
But where we are is close to the train. So that's a hint.
Yeah, I could say that we're across from one of the older hotels of the valley.
You're going to be in silhouette, but the hotel will be in clear view behind you. So that's going to be a great clue.
That's a great clue.
Where we are once I actually get it up on the screen. So as I do this, tell me about your week. Tell me how you're doing.
Well, I've been working with Restoration 1. I had a pipe burst in my house on Christmas Eve. And it wasn't a lot of water, but it's a lot of water damage. And then I found out that I had asbestos tiles in the basement. So this week was having the abatement team come and remove all the tiles and pack up what was left that hasn't been removed and tossed out of my downstairs. So it echoes because there's like nothing down there except for the washer and dryer and appliances, and everything's been removed. And then we're gonna get to do some demo.
What is it? I don't even know. You've said that to me I believe sound.
Test, 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 test.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you were telling us about your abatement.
Yes, sorry, I got distracted by the pigeons over here at this air cooling unit. Another clue as to where we might be. So basically they come in with all this gear. Depends on where the asbestos is located, if it's in the walls, if it's in the ceiling, if it's in the floor. Mine happened to be 4x4 tiles on the floor. And it just happens to be hot for the asbestos glue and the tiles themselves. So they were just able to come in with manual tools and rip it up pretty easily with minimal amount of dust, which is awesome. But they have to mask off the entire area. So they had to mask off the entire, and you've been downstairs in my house, so the entire downstairs, and make a door where there's an opening and not a doorway.
Oh my gosh.
With this special, like, I have a picture. I'll have to show you. There's a photo, and it's like danger, warning, asbestos.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah, you do not go beyond this zone. But they had to mask off basically the entire room from the ceiling to the walls, and the windows, and remove the refrigerator and like everything from down there to remove all those tiles. And they did it in like 3 or 4 hours, so that was great. It was loud as heck for a significant amount of time, but not so bad. I was able to do that, and I still have them coming back because they got to do some demo. Restoration 1 has to do some demo where I've got a tiny mold issue in my downstairs bathroom, which has been out of service since Christmas Eve.
Well, I mean, that's fine. There's only you, really.
Yes, but I have my girlfriend over,
oh,
and I do have friends over, and sometimes that gets a little convoluted when you only end up with one toilet.
Yeah.
That one toilet situation.
This is like high class problems.
But no. I mean, I've had to put my front yard project on hold this year. I was going to finish my retaining wall and new fence to really focus and fixate on the plumbing, because I have to have all the plumbing redone. I can't just have where the pipe burst, and electrical where there was water that got into it, so that, and I still have to find a general contractor to do all the finish work. So that's fun. That's what I've been up to mostly. And I'm on medical leave, so I've been working on a lot of L&I stuff behind the scenes.
That's not fun.
Medical stuff, medical appointments behind the scenes, and the swap meet. So I've been like pretty busy.
Yeah,
to say the least.
So yeah, the swap meet is taking off. It started kind of getting lots of momentum in the past few weeks. And this past week was that yesterday?
Yesterday.
Oh
we had our first meeting with our brand ambassadors, which was pretty awesome. And I'm sure we're going to have several more of those meetings to come.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, the Washington State Swap Meet is coming to East Wenatchee. We can try and move this camera so you're not in silhouette. Would that work?
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Don't worry, I didn't do it.
That's just staging stuff.
Oh my gosh, I didn't do it. Some staging stuff just fell on us. See,
we're giving you a little windy.
We're giving you lots of hints on where we are because we're in a secret location today. We're kind of shifting, so Grayson comes out of silhouette.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
It's better. Yeah, it's better. Not completely, but it's better. So just slowly just keep shifting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can move more.
I don't know about you, but the more that I keep talking to people about the swap meet, the Washington State swap meet, people get really excited about it.
They do.
They get really excited, and then they have a lot of questions. and then I like that. I get like, they don't understand, like, they're like, wait, like who can be a vendor? And I'm like, literally anybody can be a vendor. Right. And we're working on taking away the hurdle of even having to get that temporary business license, because I don't know, there's this, and this is like, even if your kid has to wants to sell lemonade on a lemonade stand, they need to get a $5 business license to do it, right? It's just, it's like in the city ordinance, like, to do it. Yeah, keeping everything on the up and up. But we're working on getting that hurdle taken away so that we will file everybody's temporary business license. All they have to do is register, and you get either a 10 by 10 or 10 foot by 10 foot, 10 foot by 20 foot, or 20 foot by 20 foot vendor spot, depending on how much space you want or need. And you literally can do whatever you want in that spot. So, like, if you were planning on having a yard sale,
do it at the swap.
Do it at the swap meet. If you're planning on having a garage sale,
do it at the swap meet.
If you are an artisan who normally goes to all of the crafters markets,
do it at the swap meet.
Do it at the swap meet. If you are a party planner or a vendor for a party planner, do it at the swap meet. Show us what you got and do a vendor spot showing us what you do, and that would be really cool. It would be awesome. You could do whatever you want. You don't have to sell anything if you don't want to.
No, I just want to encourage, if you know anyone that's planning on doing that, if you know anyone that's like, man, I'm going to sell my stuff on OfferUp or on one of these like online things, I'm saying right now, do a swap meet.
Right.
Because it's not really going to cost you that much money. You'll still be able to make money if it's a swap meet. If you've never been to a swap meet, come to the swap meet.
Yeah, and people are like, do I have to swap? Because obviously it can be confusing. You call it a swap meet, and then you're like, oh, do I have to swap with other people? Well, you can. There's a lot of other people are like, oh, I want to schedule a clothing swap in my booth. I'm like, yes, do a clothing swap. Like, that would be awesome. Like, you do an event within an event. Yes, I say yes, do it. Or you can sell, right?
Yes. The whole point of a swap meet is buy, sell, trade, barter, swap.
Yes.
That is what it is, of course. And that doesn't mean that everyone's doing all these things at one time. It just means that that's what it's all about. That's what you can do. That's the potential that you have at a swap meet.
Yeah, and I think we've priced it pretty reasonably to let people use it for whatever purpose and not lose out on any money, even if they're just doing it for promotional purposes, right?
Yeah, are you and Ryan cleaning out your house and gonna get your own little space?
I know, it's so funny because we've been planning this and planning this and planning this and planning this and planning this, and then we're so bad. Okay, we moved into our house last year, right? We're almost in it a year, and we've done a lot of purging, a lot of reorganizing, a lot of cleaning, a lot of sorting, but we still have a lot of stuff that we need to get rid of. And I've been collecting all of my things that I want to get rid of in my son's bedroom, unfortunately. And it is overtaking 2/3 of my son's bedroom. So he can't even play in there right now because there's so many clothes. I'm going to say it. Clothes. And you know what? You see me. I wear the same 5 outfits all the time, and most of them are Darling Podcast or Darling Productions swag. So I have need for an entire room full of clothing. So Ryan looks at me and he goes, what are you going to do with all this? And I'm like, I clothes in the garage. And he's like, what are you going to do with all these clothes? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about posting them online, but there's just so that I could make money if I sold them. And then I'm thinking about, could I just give them away? Should I donate them? That's a lot of clothes to to just donate. There's a lot of money just down the drain. A lot of them are new. They still have tags on it. And literally, I went, ding.
Swap me.
I was like, we are hosting the gosh darn swap meet. I look at him. I'm like, I'm bringing this to the swap meet. We're getting a 20 by 20. I'm setting up a shop. I need garment racks. I need hangers. We're doing a shop at the swap meet. And he's like, whoa, okay, all right, we're doing it. And he was all on board. He's like, get rid of the clothes. So I was just like, even myself was like, why didn't I think of this? Duh.
And I kind of know what you kind of did. It just didn't really translate until it, like, the light bulb went off.
Right. So maybe other people are having a hard time with the light bulb moment. It's like $100, 10 by 10, do whatever you want, sell your stuff.
I'm thinking about just giving you guys like $50 and be like, here's some things I need to get rid of. I have a lot of like name brand clothes. I'm like you, that I do not wear. My girlfriend's like, you have a whole bedroom that's literally a closet, and you don't even wear everything you own. And it's true. I have the closet in my actual room where I'm at, and a dresser, and it's full of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a bedroom with a closet, and then literally clothes in multiple boxes. I mean, nicely assorted.
Oh, I know.
Where?
I know. I know.
And then I have stuff that I actually have listed on online websites, and I do sell things.
You do?
Yeah.
Every time I post something, it's like nothing, crickets.
Oh my gosh. I've made a few $100s already on one of the online
You
websites.
Post the clothes that I have then.
I do that. I do clothes on one, and then on eBay I do mostly video games and electronics. I make a lot of money doing that.
It's just doing this is not what I want to be doing.
It's a lot to me.
It's just not what I want to be doing in my spare time.
Once it's posted and it's live, I don't really like. I'm not sitting there all day. I mean, I know people that literally sit on these sites all day trying to push them.
So do I, and I want them to come to the swap meet because I know they probably have a whole room of whatever they are, collectibles or action figures or toys or whatever it is that they've been trying to get rid of on eBay, and like bring all that stuff to the swap meet. That would be so cool. We'll have a collector's area. We'll have an antique area. We'll have an artisan market area. We're doing a kids market. This wasn't even my idea. It's so genius. I love Natalie and Trina from the City of East Wenatchee events department. And they came to me. They're like, let's do a kids craft market where kids make crafts and sell them. I was like, brilliant. We're doing it. Yes, make it happen.
I mean, basically, if people want to think about a swap meet and they've never been to one, especially if you're a garage sailor and you get in your car and you're going from home to home to home on the weekend, which I used to do with my grandmother a lot.
Yeah.
But I've also done flea markets and swap meets. It is the same thing. It's just everything in a hodgepodge under one roof, or for lack of a better way of saying it, the ones I've been to are old drive-in movie theaters or old parking lots of old like Kmart is one example I'll give.
But I love those
and it's so much fun because you don't know what you're gonna find, and then if you bring something that you know that you can swap or barter, that makes it like all the better.
Yeah.
And I've done that too. I mean, and not everyone wants to do it, but you do find the people that do. Because if you've got something and they want it, and you've talked about it, and you go back to your car and you bring it to them, they check it out. They're like, okay, I'll give you this and this for that. You know, it's awesome because then you walk away with two things that you really, really wanted, and instead of paying for them, you swap something out. And I've bought stuff.
I think it taps into a much deeper systemic issue in our culture and our economy that I don't know we're trying to really make that statement, that deep of a statement, as big as like the swap meet. But I know that like Ryan and I have had conversations in the past about how flawed money is as a means of payment. Right? And especially like digital currency and all this Amex credit cards, like all that is just it's fairy tale money. And getting back to the way the original way people would live in their community, which was the barter system. And when I met him, he was engaging in that just in a much more natural sense. With people in his life, he had bees. He would trade his honey for something. He had grapes, so he would juice grape juice and trade the grape juice or get it as gifts, right? And so it just has grown. We don't always have to buy our gifts. We can make our gifts. We can build our gifts. We can grow our gifts, right? It's just a different mentality that and a lot more there. I'm seeing this paradigm shift.
Yeah, it's something that I even do with my neighbors. We all grow different vegetables and fruits, and we'll barter.
Yeah.
We'll barter that, or we'll like make a meal for each other to barter that. And it always works out. It always works out very, very well. Because I love tomatoes, and tomatoes are expensive. And no matter how many tomato plants I grow and how many tomatoes I grow, it's never enough tomatoes.
Come to my house. I will show. We are inundated with cherry tomato, like little. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
those are my favorite.
So
people want to know why I look like I'm 12 still.
Do with all these tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, I grow different kinds of tomatoes. I grow grape tomatoes, but I grow Romas.
Yeah,
and heirlooms.
We have some beefsteak
and
too.
Beefsteak, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you use them for a variety of different things, right? From spaghetti.
I'm not going to use cherry tomatoes to make a sauce.
I have. It's sweeter sauce. So thank you. Julian them. And then that's just me.
Okay, non-Italian.
I'm not Italian. I'm not even trying to pretend that I am. But
right.
They're a snack.
And it's your dog's snack too.
Yeah,
you give your dog cherry tomatoes.
And then he's like, okay, I might actually want to eat this, but Boogie, like as soon as the package opens or as soon as I come in outside, he's like right there. He's like, yeah, you got one for me. You drop that. So mine. Like he gets really excited.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Going through this process of planning the swap meet also, and you have been to some of the planning meetings, and you've been with me as I'm going through this planning process. I have tried to keep that mentality of barter trade and forefront of my mind while I'm planning the event.
Yeah, in the meetings, yeah.
Like, okay, everybody wants to see a budget. Everybody wants to see numbers. They want to see how it's going to pan out. They want to make sure you're not going to go in the hole. And hey, thank you. I'm very appreciative that you want to make sure that this is going to be a sustainable event that we can bring back again and again and again and again and again. However, they're surprised when I am not going out and like asking people for $10, $15, $20,000 to help sponsor and pay for this event. Well, one, it's a first year event, has no will be sustainable. But I know me, and I know the power and the ambition and like the work that will go into it. So I like people can underestimate all they want. That doesn't deter me from moving forward in the process. So the way that I have approached it, which is a lot different than how most people approach things, is by approaching people who have been community partners in the past and people who I want to make strategic community partners for this event, and then try to pair them up with other people that I've made community partnerships with. and get them involved in this event in one way or another. I'll give you a key example.
Go for it.
And and literally, this is just one small example of this huge festival-like event that's happening over 3 days, September 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Eastmont Fourplex in East Wenatchee, the Washington State Swap Meet. So we wanted to do like upcycling crafts or refurbishing crafts, use items that you are already used and use them to make a craft and make it available to the people who are coming and spending time at the swap meet.
Right.
So I had this idea of painting on vinyl records because we love vinyl records, and I've done a class where I painted on a vinyl record before, and I thought that would be a really cool idea. So I went to Joel over at the Apple Valley Vinyl Expo. They're planning on redoing or doing another vinyl expo in October, a month after.
So awesome.
Yeah, so cool, right? The first one was super successful. They're planning on doing another one in October, a month after the swap meet. And I said, hey man, we can help you promote for the next vinyl expo at the swap meet. All I need is a donation of a few hundred old vinyl records that nobody's ever going to listen to. And he goes, I could do that. And then I go to Nancy Barrett over at Class with a Glass. And I go, Nancy, look at this event. She goes, that's awesome. I say, I've got all these vinyl records from the Vinyl Expo. Could you come down, maybe donate some of your time and some supplies and teach a painting on vinyl records class or instruction, or just have it available open and for, some exposure being down there at the festival? She goes, yes, I'm in. You know how much money I spent doing that? Zero. I spent zero money. They spent zero money except their time and their supplies, right? I spent zero money except my time and effort. Community partnerships. And now we have painting on vinyl activity at the swap meet. And that's just one thing. I can go down. We've got a beer garden coming in from the East Wenatchee Rotary Club. They're also going to do, they're going to get connected with the Cornhole Association, and they're going to do a cornhole tournament. You're also going to do a pickleball tournament on Friday.
Which still blows your mind.
Which still blows my mind. All day, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday, the 8th of September, the pickleball tournament over at the swap meet, which will be fun, right? Different demographic. Then cornhole tournament on Saturday. Beer garden.
Family movie night.
Well, Friday night is a swap hop. So instead of a sock hop, it's a swap hop because I'm punny like that. So free to people right there on the stage at the Fourplex, and fancy dress encouraged. So I'm really looking for a what are those? Poodle skirt. I need a poodle skirt.
Swap meet.
And maybe we need a poodle skirt vendor for the swap meet.
Oh, I bet it will happen.
Yeah.
You just never know. That's what a swap meet is. That's why it's so much fun. You never know what you're going to find.
And then Saturday night is the family movie night under the stars, which is also free. So we've got food trucks coming in,
which the pack helped us with to get the license for the movie. Which is also one other thing that we didn't have to spend money on, but that they were willing to. Yeah, we are working on it. We don't know what movie it's going to be yet, because they all cost a little bit different. That is a cost that we have to pay because you have to pay to get the movie. You can't really get around that, but whatever it is, we'll figure out a movie and let people know what movie it's going to be. But whatever it is, it's going to be fun. What else do we have? We have food truck vendors.
Yeah.
And we want to encourage, if you know anyone that's a food truck vendor, please. Hey, that would be awesome, actually. The more of everything that we have, the more fun and engaging that this is going to be. And granted, you don't need to come with a big wad of cash.
Right.
You are gonna, if you go to the beer garden, you're gonna have to pay for beer.
Right.
If you go to the food vendors, you're gonna have to pay for the food. There's no bartering there. But it's encouraged that if you have something that you'd like to barter, yeah, bring it.
Bring it. Yeah.
Even if you can't haul it and you have to keep it in your car and you can talk to a vendor about it that would be interested, do it.
Right.
Do it, because that's what it's all about. Even if you're skeptical, come the first day, see what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it is 3 days long, and we're trying to make each day a little bit different, some variety. The pickleball on first day, cornhole second day. We have different. We have Pinnacles Prep coming in to do some activities for the kids on Sunday, and we've got so the full schedule is at WashingtonStateSwapMeet.com. It's also where you can register and get your booth before they all sell out. There's only a limited amount of spaces in each size, so WashingtonStateSwapMeet.com, and we have a nonprofit resource area because of the area of upcycling, recycling, refurbishing. It's going to have another life instead of going to the landfill. We really believe in sustainability and the environment, and so we're opening up the nonprofit resource fair to any nonprofit organization, but we ask them to register, but also have some information or a game or a giveaway or some kind of packet that relates to the environment or sustainability. Register for that Eco Environment Resource Fair.
A lot of stuff.
It's going on. It's happening. Oh, I do have some pictures I can put up. I think
you have lots of different photos of lots of different things.
I know, but I was looking for stuff for the swap meet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So here's the flyer. There you go. Let's take this off so you can see that. So there's a flyer. Swap trade. Oh, it's a neck fan. Swap, trade, sell, purchase, give. Eastmont Fourplex, September 8th, 9th, 10th. And you can't really see all the other details, but you'll start to see these flyers around and being hung up. And if you want some, just get in contact. We'll get out to you. Here's the little graphic for Friday night swap hop. Friday night, the 8th, all ages, free to attend, starts at 7, goes till 10. And then the Saturday night, movie night under the stars, that goes from 8 until 10.
Come to the Washington State Swap Meet.
Yes. Oh, I have some pictures, summer pictures of Trenton. He is doing really well. He just went through another growth spurt. I told you this, Grayson.
Yes,
every time my son goes through a growth spurt, I can tell. I can definitely tell. He gets more tired. He's achy. Moms can tell these things. He wants to sleep more, and he just doesn't want to do anything. And he's a very active child, so if he doesn't want to do anything, like, that's a big deal. So he just went through a growth spurt, and then when he's done with his growth spurt, he turns into a little asshole. Sorry. He turns into a little jerk for like a week. Yeah. Because he wants to test his new knowledge, his new cognitive abilities, his new, like, climbing abilities. He's bigger, taller, stronger. He could do more, think more, say more, like, overnight, it seems like. And then he tries to test the boundaries more. And then when the boundaries are still the boundaries, it's like, meh.
He gets upset.
He gets real upset.
Tantrum time.
And so it's about a week of reestablishing the boundaries. And reestablishing and reestablishing and reestablishing and then Ryan going, what is going on with this kid? And I'm like, this happens every time. See the pattern, and then next thing you know, he's our loving boy again.
Yeah, well, he's a little Ryan, he's a little you, so.
Yeah, he is a little Orion and a little of me.
I think Ryan forgets that he's a little of him. And he really is equal parts.
No, he can't.
That's the thing.
No. He can't forget that he's a little bit Orion because I remind him all the time. Don't forget. That kid is a little bit of you.
Yeah, I hear him say, what's up with him? Like, and it's like, dude, he's a little bit of you.
Dude, you do the same thing.
Yeah, don't you recognize? He's doing it without alcohol, but don't you recognize?
When I started pointing out that with Logan, who is now 18-year-old, like a few years ago, right? That, oh man, Ryan would have a, just a temper tantrum, be like, meh, 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 meh. I don't want to do that. Well, you agreed to do that, so let's do that. I don't want to do it now. And then he would, whatever, temper tantrum.
Teenager.
Then Logan would come in and do the same exact thing. I don't want to do that. Well, you say we're going to do that, so take out the garbage. Well, I don't want to. Well, you're gonna. And then I just laugh. I'd laugh at him. And I'd look at him and be like, you realize, right? You just got mad and completely angry at your son for doing the same exact thing that you just did to me, and got mad at me for getting mad at you for not doing what you said you were going to do. Hello? I feel like sometimes I am parenting a 2-year-old, an 18-year-old, and almost 50-year-old.
It's a fun household.
It is a fun household.
I've spent time in that household. So.
Yeah, I know. I love them so much.
When people ask me, like, who do you think wears the pants there? I'm like, is that not obvious enough? Then it's Nikki. Like, he is constant. Ryan's no. Trenton. It's a back and forth. There's always something going on.
All right. I think we're good. Oh, good. I know. I was just taking a breather. I'm allowed to do that. It's a 2-hour show. Can you just make sure our sound is still on? Okay. What were we talking about?
We were talking about you being.
Oh, the pants of the family. Oh, I was talking to. I was about to tell a story about how I was talking to somebody yesterday. And I tell this story quite a bit, but because it's so impactful to me that about 4 years ago, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment, 3rd floor walk up, alone with me and my dog. Just me and Chewy. That was it. And when we had long weekends, I dreaded long weekends because I was alone. Everybody was with their friends or their family or whoever. They had plans. They were heading out of town. I didn't have family here. I barely had friends. And I didn't have a partner, or this was before Trenton, before Ryan, before anybody. And so I like this life a lot better than I liked that life.
Really? Because it seems really a lot more busy.
Yeah. It's not busy. I mean, it is busy, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it as it's a lot more purposeful and a lot more fulfilled.
I can see that. I can see that a lot. I mean, I can see a difference in you from when we first met, when you were at your apartment on Yakima Street, right?
Yeah.
Because I've known you for a number of years.
Yeah.
As long as I've lived here in my house. And now I see that shift. I saw that shift starting to happen before you guys got that house. But now that you're in the house, there's this complete shift. Like you've done this complete 180.
Right.
Where you've pretty much eased into the entire thing, even though you're like, oops, surprise, Trenton, right? Still, you really eased into it. So I see how Logan interacts with you, and I see how you and Ryan interact with each other and with people that you have that come over, and then everything that's going on. You know, like people have probably never been to your house. There's this massive garden, and Ryan constantly running around with this massive garden. There's chickens. There's 3 dogs. Because Chewy's still around, believe it or not. Chewy's still and stronger than ever. And he's not lonely. And there's cats.
Yep.
And instead of having this immaculate place that looks like no one's really lived in it and we can just show it on the market tomorrow, you know, you've got like stuff everywhere. You've got a toddler. Yeah. And he plays with something and then he gets bored with it and he moves on to the next thing and then he gets bored with it and he moves on to Elmo
and not just, you know, not just him. It's just a very active household. The dogs and the cats and a very active husband who is always doing stuff and really doesn't care about a spotlessly clean house. Yes, we clean, right? It's clean. It's sanitized or whatever, but you're right. There's like 7 loads of clean laundry on our couch right now waiting to be folded because we just have at the end of the night have been so tired and go, we are just not doing it. We're gonna either go to bed or we're gonna watch something on TV together and not fold this laundry. And over the years, I have had to learn, really, I've had to learn how to do that because just who I am, how like that perfectionist and that super ambitious person that always feels like I have to go further, do more, work harder. People are out there doing more. I am not good enough. I am not doing enough. Always, always, always. So to leave a load of laundry unfolded before I went to bed, I'd stay up the entire night.
Oh yeah, I'm sure with your OCD, it's really kind of like make that shift.
Yeah,
because I'm in that whole shift right now. My girlfriend has 2 kids, 17 and 10. And, you know, she's a mom and she works. It's a single parent home. And, you know, she doesn't just work, but she has to cook and she has to like take care of the house inside and out.
Right.
And then micromanage her children in activities and things that they need to do or have done or appointments. And then I come into the picture and I'm like this total OCD freak. And I've had to learn how to like not come and take over and make sure everything gets done. Because even though that's nice, it's jarring for the people who actually live under that roof, right? Because their time doesn't work in that constraint, right? So I'm trying to learn that just even in my own house. And that's like super, super hard for me. Like I literally didn't vacuum for 3 weeks.
Wow.
I know. For me,
Wow.
I vacuumed every single day. And I was
Every day?
yes, because I have a dog that sheds a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Boogie doesn't shed, but Cooper sheds like mad. So I was
Okay.
like dumping that canister like repeatedly, and I was like, man, this is a lot of dog hair. But at the same time, I wasn't as stressed because I was started able to focus on other things that took more of a priority away.
Well, dude, that's the thing, right? It isn't about outside things. It's about your inside peace.
It really is.
I know it took me a long time to learn these things, but I don't know if the word like happy was what I was striving for. It was more like inner peace and contentment of just going day to day, being able to say at the end of the day, like, okay, that's enough. I did enough. I feel good about myself, about my life. And then wake up the next day and open my eyes and look around and go, I like this life. And be okay with, we work closely together, right? And
right.
even today, doing the show, getting the show set up, figuring out where we were going to be, what we were going to talk about, the logistics of things we were looking for, and cords and microphones, and people know there was a lot of tech stuff that happened behind the scenes. I buffering. It's because the extra camera. It's too much bandwidth. All right. Thank you for hanging around with us. So we are broadcasting live, so that does happen sometimes with our hotspot. We are getting better all the time. This is the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. My name is Nikki Darling, broadcasting from a super secret location. If you know where this is behind me, then maybe you know where we are. We have given us a few hints. We said we're close to the bridge, close to the train. When we had Grayson's camera up, you could see the Coast Hotel behind him. Those are a couple of. We're in a. No, it's not on. I turned it off. But the microphone should be on.
Test, test, test.
Yep, microphone's on. We just
I don't
can't
need to
see
be
you.
on camera. That's fine.
And we were telling people about what's going on I'll just tell people quickly what's going on over the weekend was the night market on the Ave is tomorrow, and they have a lot of vendors that are happening up there. And then also the Pack is doing their Pack Alley Cabaret with the cast from their Hot August night show, Kinky Boots. I can also turn off this camera. Stop this camera so you don't see me from two angles. That'll save some bandwidth too. Let's try that. But what we were talking about was trying to keep your cool, right?
Yep.
And like the don't panic philosophy, right? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy philosophy of don't panic. And
the door shall open.
Oh no. Do they need to come through here? Kylie. Don't panic.
Speaking of
Hitchhiker's
Guide to the Galaxy.
Don't panic.
She's like, great, I'm live on camera. Hey, it's our way of saying thank you for letting us use this microphone today.
Yeah. And thank you for the air conditioning. This feels wonderful.
This feels a lot better than the 99.
This is what happens on live shows. What is it that you need to do? Okay. I love you. Oh, man. We totally got off track here. I don't know
So we're speaking about not panicking. So I have a great example for this. Last year, you were doing Class with a Glass, karaoke, Class with a Glass, which I got to attend one of those, which was truly awesome. I hope that you get to partner with Nancy Barrett and do that again.
That was a fun series. Yeah.
But you got to a point where you had no sound in your mic.
Right. Yeah.
And you came over to me very calmly and you're like, Grayson, I don't know what to do.
Ready to do a karaoke show with no microphone.
We're starting in a matter of minutes. I have no mics. And we figured it out together. And it got back on track. And it was just one of those things where I know that things can go wrong, but I'd never experienced that with you. And the way that you did it was just like really super calm.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that called? When you learn by example. It was just one of those things I've got to learn by example with you. You know, I had no idea that sometimes patience is more of a virtue in technical situations than you think.
Yeah.
You know, we've had issues with audio equipment, various events, and having to make adjustments or swap out cords.
Right.
Or, you know, we've had various issues with the podcasts, with trying to get our equipment to talk to each other, you know.
Yeah.
And still at the end of the day, no matter what issue that arises, we both learn something from it.
Right. I think that really has prepared me to be a parent, right? Because how many situations am I in with my son where I want to panic because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle it. I'm not exactly sure of the next right thing. And if I panic, I am only going to make the situation worse.
Right.
And so I take care of myself first, my brain first, calm myself down, take a breath, and then go, okay, what's the solution? I understand what the problem is. There's nothing I can do about the problem except find a solution to the problem. Problem is happening no matter whether I like it or not.
Right.
We have to just try and find a solution.
Correct.
So it takes people more time to get to that point, I think, because they have to go through the emotion of, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, why is this happening? Oh my God, I'm so angry that this is happening, until they get to the point of finding a solution. And by that time, the problem has already escalated and gotten worse. So don't panic. That's the point of the story. Don't pay. I'll give you another example. This has been happening in my career, my entire career. We're going to go back. Let's go back, way back. Philadelphia.
Okay.
Era 2011. I was working for CBS Radio in Philadelphia, one of the biggest broadcast media corporations in the world. And I was executive producer for an afternoon talk show. And then, so I worked in a control room where there was a big soundboard.
Right.
And then at a certain time when the show changed, the next team came on and you handed over the soundboard, and it was had to be very precise because it's a talk show. So everything was to the second. Right. The next show that came on was called the Michael Smerconish Show, which some people might know because Michael Smerconish is now a huge political talk person on TV.
Right.
But at that time, he was on radio. He started in Philadelphia on this radio station, and he was just starting to get syndicated. So his team in Philadelphia had very specific things that they needed to do, put buttons to push to get it out into syndication to all the other radio stations, which was way beyond my scope, right? Because I didn't know. It was just knowledge that executive producer knew which stations it needed to be syndicated out to.
Right.
Nothing I knew anything about except what I knew for my show. The executive producer for that show stuck in traffic. In Philadelphia rush hour traffic.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare with an accident on the Schuylkill Expressway, which means nothing to anybody here, but you could imagine no end in sight of when this guy was going to make it into the studio.
We could say that's the congestion at the roundabout at Easy Street.
Sure.
Let's just say he was stuck all the way in Chelan and traffic was backed up to the roundabout on Easy Street, but all the way up to Chelan. That would kind of give the scope of the gnarliness of not at the studio.
Well done, yeah.
Yeah, not at the PUD building, the new PUD building, because I'm stuck on the highway. There's no way to get.
I'm way down the highway. Way down. Yeah.
So what did you do? Because that put you in a position where you had to stay, right?
So they came in to me, the operations manager came in to me and said, "Can you stay?" I said, "Yes."
What do I do?
But what do I do? I have no idea what to do.
Right.
And he goes, just sit in the chair and push buttons. Really? Just sit in the chair and like push buttons, meaning like turn the mics on and off, the things that you need to do to get a show on and off the air. But I had no idea how to get a show down the line, meaning down the line to another radio
have known what to ask for. I would have been in there like, hey, you have a microphone that we can use to do the podcast. Because I don't have that background that you have. You know, I don't have that degree in communications to know what all the equipment is. I'm literally learning everything
on the job
with Nikki.
Yeah.
Every single time we do something, I'm learning something that I did not know before.
That's how I learned.
And for me, it's fun. I know for a lot of people, it's probably not fun, but for me, I enjoy everything that I get to do because it's fun. And I used to think, oh, I can't do this. And I have to remind myself, you chaired an entire committee of people for your 20-year reunion. That was an undertaking.
Right, you did.
That took a village. And you had an idea and you had a plan and you came to a meeting with this entire plan that you spent months working on because they had no idea what the plan was. They had no idea what we were going to do. They were like, we don't know what to do. Why are you having us come to this committee? And it's like, were you not the senior class vice president?
Right.
Were you not on the ASB? Were you not, a cheerleader? Were you not all these things that you signed up for that said, hey, when it comes time for a union, you get to help plan your reunion?
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed. I wasn't popular. I wasn't part of any of the clubs that would, like the communications club, none of that.
So how did it fall on you?
I just one day posted on Facebook, I wonder if the class of 1996 is going to have a reunion because we didn't leave anything behind when we graduated. When we graduated, we didn't have any money, so we literally had our senior party at a gym that hosted us for free. Oh, I'm having a technical difficulty.
I don't know what's happening. I love doing this show so much.
There we go. That was me in the background as backfeed. So yeah, I literally posted that, right?
Yeah.
Thinking we're a failing class. We were the largest class to graduate the Federal Way School District at that time. Most of us, we are dependents of Boeing employee and Weyerhaeuser employees, right? Because those were the big companies at the time. Federal Way was unincorporated King County. It wasn't even like a city yet. It was just like all these new homes going up, and here we are. And so I thought we weren't going to do anything. And then people started like commenting, like people started friend requesting me from school, people that were like popular, people that were, and everyone's like, hey, so are we going to have one? And then people started sharing ideas. Then there was like this thread of like 120 comments of all these different ideas that everybody wanted. That's how I created the plan. Was I literally listened to what other people were talking about. And I got a sense of where people were in their lives and what would work for some, but wouldn't work for everyone. So I came up with that. I put it all together in a plan. I brought all the people together under one roof. It took a lot of work and a lot of effort. And then I did that because I realized,
like in the end, I'm sure there were things that were successes about the event, and there were things that could have gone better.
No, the entire thing was like super successful. I couldn't tell you how happy everyone was for each day. And we have our own Raiders community page. So like every Raider that contributed, everyone was super happy. I mean, the PTA for the school was super happy because we gave 2 laptop computers to 2 really awesome students.
Are you doing it again for your next reunion?
Yeah, they want me to do it again for our 30 year. I wanted to do a 40. I just don't think that 10-year increments give us enough time to separate the difference where we are in our lives. And I didn't participate in our 10-year reunion for that reason. The maturity, it shifts. We shift in our life, right? But yeah, I'll probably do the 30-year. Yeah. And before I did that, I did community organizing when I lived in San Francisco.
Right.
And that was like a national thing. I actually had to organize, and I had, volunteers I work with, and I had to reach out to all these various people who had to create their own committees in various states.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sent them, audio and video equipment for each polling station, because this was Video the Vote. We worked with Rock the Vote. So all of that experience that's led me where I am right now is the point.
Right. Yeah.
Is making I told my girlfriend how nervous I was to be this coordinator, and then I just woke up last night in the middle of the night and I was like, why? This is a challenge for you. This should be more thing is supposed to always be fun. If you're not loving what you do, you shouldn't do it.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about me doing a career change here and actually wanting to do this for a living. This is a lot more fun than even what I love to do for a living.
Yeah.
You know, I love being a CAD detailer in the trade. I do. It's a lot of fun. But this is something that I just kind of naturally fall into, thinking that I'm not able to do certain things, and having my girlfriend go, you can do this and you can do that and you can look at it. And Nikki sees something in you. Nikki sees that you're capable of doing this or doing that. She wouldn't put you in charge of this or put you if you couldn't do it. She's not going to give you something that she sees that you're going to fail. She's going to see if she can put you somewhere where you can thrive. It's not a sink or swim. She sees potential in you. You have to see that potential within yourself.
Oh, that's true, because I don't have any room for failure. I need you to do a good job. I put you in a position because I need you to do a good job. Speaking of career changes, I was telling Ryan that I think he should become a farmer. He needs to stop being an electrician, and he needs to become a farmer because he enjoys it so much. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this picture, but
I'll peek over.
Yeah, this is our son Trenton with a zucchini that we picked from our garden. Look how big that zucchini is.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
the size of our son's body. And that's just one of them.
That's a huge zucchini.
Yeah. And he made fresh zucchini bread with that zucchini.
Yeah,
so
where's mine? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. So I told him he needs to change careers.
Yeah. What are you guys gonna do with all of that produce that you're growing? I've been.
We are giving
so
some.
There is a lot.
We are barter and trading. So think about what you have that you could trade us.
I have lots of things that I can trade for produce.
Fair enough.
I will never say no to produce.
We have a lot of tomatoes coming in, so perfect for you.
Yes.
I do want to say congratulations to Danielle Martin.
What's going on with her?
She is officially has been instated as the permanent CEO of Building North Central Washington.
That's awesome. Danielle deserves it. That's a job well done. Like, she is incredible. If you've never been to this event, you've got to come check it out. She's the sweetest, most caring individual I've ever gotten to meet. Like, there is a sea of chaos around her. Yeah. She's in charge of it, and yet she skips around, literally skips around with a smile on her face and can interact in a positive way no matter what the situation. I saw her in a situation where it was like a haphazard thing that was going on, and she was just like, oh, well, here's what we're gonna do. And then she just like lays it out, and then everyone's like, oh, that's what we should do. And then it gets laid out. And I was like, wow, man, way to take control of it in a very confident way with a lot of patience and a lot of love behind the words that you use to get that accomplished, so that it's not being broadcast, right, to all the people and the vendors around you. So congratulations, Danielle.
Yes, congratulations, Danielle. She turned that interim position into a permanent position, and that is a very well-deserved thing for her. There are some really great, ambitious, visionary women that are coming into some key lead roles in our community, and Danielle Martin is one of them for sure. So we'll be catching up with her, I think, pretty soon to see what her vision exactly is for Building North Central Washington going forward. Yeah. that I
Yeah, when
wanted.
people ask me, who do you think runs the world? And I say, well, by far it's women. And they say, but you're trans and you became a man. I'm like, yeah, but it's still women. It's literally women.
I didn't have control over that. Right?
Yeah, I don't have control over who I am. I'm just who I am. But who actually runs the show? And when you think about it, women. Who multitask better? I hate to say it, women. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to celebrate all of the women in small business who make achievements, you know, in the roles that they do for where they are. It's really important that they be highlighted.
Thanks. We rule.
Like
Yeah.
Lana say, like Mary Hart.
Right.
New location, better location,
Yeah.
bigger location.
Right.
I mean, that's not a small feat at all. That's huge. And I would like to celebrate Mary. She's an incredible lady.
Where is that little drive that you have with you? That
Oh.
card reader? Do you have it?
Yes, let me bounce off to my vehicle and I shall grab it.
Okay. In the meantime, the in-between time, he's gonna grab some photos because I actually want to pull up the video from Ladies Night Comedy and share that with you. But the 8th, July 8th, because we took last Friday off because we were like Josh from Norwood. He right now is like in it up to his ears in getting stuff ready for the night market on the Ave, which is happening tomorrow night. And that was us on last Friday. So we didn't do a live show last Friday because we were setting up the stage and everything for Ladies Night Comedy. So 2 Fridays ago, we did a show. And that was also the day of Pangborn's Festival of Flight, or the day before Pangborn's Festival of Flight, which is Saturday on the 8th. And this is just a sneak peek of me in front of one of the vintage airplanes. I did my, no, here, honey, here. Oh, I can't do it there, can I?
No.
What is this? What is this connected to?
Your camera.
We'll take that out then.
You don't want your camera on?
No, it's your camera. Oh no, it's this camera?
Yep.
Oh, okay. No, then I can't. Then I can't do that.
No.
Yeah, try in here. So I did, there was over 100 vintage airplanes up at the airport, including Miss Vidal. Oh, that was from Ladies Night too. Oh, here's another vintage airplane. Oh yeah.
This has a secret.
There you go.
Yeah, see, getting better all the time.
We're getting better all the time. And they had a bunch of stuff going on up there. We gave away some prizes, and the whole deal was a pretty nice day up there. Did you have some pictures in here from when we broadcasted in front of Miss Vidal?
Yes.
Oh, cool. All right, let's see if I can get this up so people can see it. Share. Window. There we go. Share. That was their little training plane that was outside Miss Vidal.
That was a fun day.
That was a fun day. There I am in front of Miss Vidal broadcasting the podcast. That's kind of what we look like, yeah, from the outside perspective. A little behind the scenes action there. That's nice. Oh, there's me and Pangborn himself.
Yes.
That was such a fun interview. If you missed that, me talking with Clyde Pangborn, we did talk about the history of that flight and his time in Misawa, Japan. It was very educational and entertaining.
Yeah, Jake is an amazing guy.
Oh my God, I know.
I mean, the way that he jumped literally into being Clyde was like no other.
Amazing.
That was a great interview.
Yeah. So you can go back. I want to pull that interview out and put it up separately, but you can see that interview and go back and check it out. It's a fun interview.
And we do have a clip of it that we can also put on a reel.
Oh, good. There's Miss Vidal and me and Clyde in the background. Oh, look, let me see if I can zoom in. There we are. That's such a good shot.
Isn't that so cool?
This is a really fun day. This is why I love what we get to do, man. Right?
Yeah, I was so panicked at the beginning of that day.
This was ladies' night, so we've now switched over to ladies' night comedy.
Yes.
This is what the stage looked like. Hey guys, we put this stage together ourselves. We did it
With the help of Ryan.
with the help of Ryan. There's me and April on stage. We're both smiling. Kind of. That's a nice little side stage picture.
And it was her first performance.
Yeah, it was April's first time doing stand-up. There she is. You had one like broad view picture.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to.
It's a panorama.
A panorama. Yeah, there's a side. Beautiful orchard. Oh my gosh. Snowdrift Cider Company is up past the airport. It's a few miles past the airport, so it's not as far as you think. But man, that place is gorgeous, right?
Oh my goodness.
Really, really gorgeous.
You feel like you're in a whole nother world at that cidery.
Yeah, like a
it's really
paradise.
The feeling that I don't know about you, but the feeling that I got from the moment I drove in, and I was literally there almost like the entire day until like 10:30 at night. So like 10:30 to 10:30, that's a long day. Calm, tranquil, positive. The family that runs it,
Peter and Marianne,
just amazing, super sweet people. Amazing cider.
I didn't try the cider, but everybody that did try it, and they made cider slushies that night.
And it was so good. I had one.
They said it was good because it was hot out. We've got video of the we did okay. So I pulled people up on stage and did a lip sync contest. We had some prizes from Lenesse Boutique. They put together a couple of gift packages. And so we took the song Ladies Night and I'm feeling right, and took 5 people on stage. You'll see there's 3 ladies, 2 guys, and told them they had no idea what the words were. The words were not in front of them. They got to lip sync just off the cuff, but everybody knows the chorus, which was great because everybody chimed in the chorus, right?
Right.
But they had such a good time. I don't know how to get the. Oh, I don't know if I can do the. I don't think it's coming through. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Well, that's too bad, but you could see we had some good sports that were singing or lip syncing and dancing, including our friend, what is her name? The girl that we can't ever remember? Jocelyn, who did awesome. And then you can actually see one of our guy friends here, the world's okayest golfer, got really into it towards the end, and he started trying to get some. There you go. There he is, trying to get some feedback from the crowd. Ready? And then he plays to the camera. Ready? Playing to the camera. They were a good sport. That was fun.
It was a very, very fun day, and I super, super appreciated the couple that, they live on site, but that run it, and along with the guy, I'm spacing his name. I don't know why I want to call him Lucas, but I don't think that's right.
But he did have a different name.
Yeah.
There we are.
He was helped us tear down a little bit, which was really helpful because there's a lot I can't do and it makes it difficult. But they even gave me a bottle of one of the ciders that I tried, like, and as a means to say thank you for like helping do this event. And then they were like, "We want Nikki back.
Oh,
we
that's
want
nice.
we want to know if Nikki will come back and do anything, any kind of an event here, because we've never done something like this
Right.
outside of family stuff."
Oh, there's the panorama.
And I would
Beautiful.
say I'd love to be able to tell them yes, but that's not my not my position.
I told them that they could do weddings out there. Like, look at this space, guys. I've got the panorama picture that you took with the chairs look nice. There's tables up front, stage side. It's just a beautiful setting. It was really nice.
It is really nice. You could do weddings. You could do any kind of event there.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's got everything that you would want for a venue. And the cider is really good, actually. I've been to quite a few cideries, and I have to say this one, the bittersweet, along with the like the bitter tart, like, wow, like they nail it. Some cideries don't nail the taste, and they try to tell you what the hints of everything are, and
then you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and these guys nail it. Like, I was super impressed with the amount of time that they've put, not just into creating the cidery, but to create the ciders that they sell. So if you've never been to Snowdrift, you've got to check it out. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree. Just for at least the atmosphere.
And at night it was so great. So I had to follow Nikki back to her house, not that I didn't know how to get there, but I sometimes don't know my way around. It was just nice to see all the stars out from that location, yeah, that you don't get to see when you're like in town. So it was really nice from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And so even though I was tired and drove to Spokane from there, I still ended up having such a great time, like, all day there.
Yeah, and we gave out some gift packages, and I think the general premise was that everybody that came out had a good time, and all of our comedians did a fantastic job. April did great. For her first time doing comedy, you wouldn't know. I think she held her own and was great. Michael Lee Miller got up there and rocked the house. Absolutely did not disappoint, but also dropped a bomb on the audience and said that she is going to be a grandma
that she didn't see coming.
Well, who could see that coming? I think her kids are a little bit young, and it makes me want to throw condoms in my stepson's face. But we keep them everywhere. And she says the same thing. She was safe. She kept protection everywhere, and still her oldest is now expecting. And now I'm just going, oh God, no. Oh, please, no. Oh, I can't be a grandma. No, I'm not even 40. No. I just can't. I can't do it. But she's probably thinking the same thing. And then, but congratulations, Michael. Oh
yes,
my gosh.
Congratulations, Michael.
So happy for you. So happy. And then there was Lane, whose name
amazing.
Who was very, very funny.
Yes.
And I kept mucking up her last name, but she was very understanding. Heichel. It's Lane Heichel, and I kept wanting to say Henkel, or I don't know. I kept saying it wrong, and I kept thinking about it, going like, why? I feel like every time I wanted to say her name, my body just revolted against saying Heichel, and I think I figured it out.
Okay.
I think Heichel is it sounds too much like Heil Hitler.
Ah.
Right?
So you get like tripped up.
Yeah, like subconsciously my brain is like, no, don't do that. No.
Because you're afraid you're going to mess it up.
Yes.
In the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
So I just mess it up and I say Lane Henkel. Henkel. Yes, that's better than saying the other, right? Yeah.
I've done the other.
I think
It gets me in
I think
trouble.
that's it. So let's not do that.
It happens.
Hey, I have said some terrible things by mistake, not on purpose, in
I think
groups of
we all
people
have.
and on stage. So
Yeah.
you fail. That was our whole conversation today about failing to improve. Not failing to improve, but fail so that you can improve. That's better grammar, isn't it? Well, we have about 15 minutes left here in the program, and we have one last very important topic that we need to go through.
Let's do it.
And talk about the mayoral election.
Yep, this is difficult, but we can do this.
Okay. We can do hard things.
We can do hard things.
So I'm trying to figure out where exactly I want to start with this. Full disclosure, right? People, if you don't know, or if people don't know, I am the campaign manager for Mike Poyer, who is running for mayor. When I signed on to do this job, it was mostly a campaign job, right?
Right.
Marketing, program management, strategic planning. I did not know that I was going to have to deal with the logistics of yard signs
petty drama,
as much as I am dealing with the laws and ordinances of yard signs, but that has actually come into play. So the reason that we're bringing this up is because the voter pamphlets have gone out. You should have them by now.
I've already got mine. I've already voted. Yeah, it came a couple days ago.
If you're not registered to vote, you still have time to register to vote. I think you have until about Monday, or you can do it in person up until the 1st, which is the primary election day.
And this is important. You need to vote. Everyone needs to vote. This is for our next mayor. If you think about all the projects going on right now,
right,
from the bridge they want to do, to the roundabouts that are going in, to the huge McKittrick project. If you think about what's going on with the homeless population, our new food bank that's coming to fruition, if you can think about all those things, if you can think about the ordinances that are not being enforced right now and why, if you're thinking about what the police department is doing and if they're hiring more officers, if they have the funding, you have to consider this. That's the mayoral, that's your local government. Yeah. So it's super, super, super important to vote for your mayor. This isn't something that you can just be lax on and be like, it doesn't matter, my vote doesn't matter. This isn't big politics, okay? This isn't voting for the president. This is literally voting for the direction that the town is going to head until we have another election.
Right.
So we have 3 candidates that are on the ballot right now, and they all bring something different to the table. And I'm going to stand more in a universal position here instead of like, Mike Poyer, right? He's a great guy. I don't know the other 2 candidates, but I've heard lots of things about the other 2 candidates, and not from Mike Poyer's perspective or people, just from people in the community itself. So get informed about each candidate, what they bring to the table, who they are, what they represent, who's backing them, and who's not backing them, who's backed them and has backed out from backing them. That's really critical information.
Yeah, I think that's an important point to bring up, Grayson, is that there are people who endorse, and then you have to see maybe about who is purposely maybe not endorsing a candidate or what have you. I don't know if people really know that information or not, or even if they really much pay attention to that, but you do make a good point that you should at least glance over and get educated. Like I was saying earlier, I'd like to be educated in all the aspects, in all angles, before I can, and then come to my own conclusions. I don't want anybody to tell me what decision to make, and I'm not going to do that to anybody else. I can't tell anybody what decision to make. I just refuse to do that. But I'd like to give information, facts, in a journalistic way, so that people can make their own decision and come to their own conclusions, and not force my beliefs or opinions on to anybody else.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm just more of a free thinker. I know a lot of people just kind of go with the flow, but I like to know more than what's on a voter pamphlet that the party or the person's team has written about that individual.
Yeah.
Because it goes a lot deeper than that. You know, I want to know just how long they've been in the community. I don't want to just know that they were born and raised here. I don't want to know what high school they went to. I don't care about all of that. What I care about is who they are as a person, what they've done in the community, what they've done to help change the community, and how they've helped the community grow. And I want to know the negatives on that, like what they've done that has done the polar opposite of, right? So for me, being informed on each candidate, I had to like literally talk to people that I never thought I would talk to.
Look them up online.
You know, and it helped me to make a better decision. Now, I've kind of been a part of our local politics since the roundabouts went in on First, because I've been so anti those roundabouts because I live off First. And so I started really going to a lot of city council meetings. So going to the city council meetings, I got familiar with Mayor Kuntz.
Yeah.
I got familiar with Mike Poyer. I got familiar with, I'm going to space his name, the gentleman that runs the Pybus Market, who's on city council. He's
Travis.
Travis is Hornsby. And he is.
And Top Rojanasatian.
Yeah. And Travis, for where I live exactly, is my city council member. But to be informed about what was going on, I had to go to the meetings. So I learned a lot. Number one, I learned a lot about what's going on with the police department. Number two, I learned a lot about what was going on with the fire department and what the fire seasons look like. It's really, really informative to know how many volunteers they have and how many volunteers they're bringing in from outside of our community, what that cost looks like.
Right.
There's a cost associated with that. Just like every time that those planes and helicopters have to dip into the Columbia, like they did yesterday, we saw that fire.
Yeah, that Badger Mountain fire, by the way, is contained and out. So they've got it 100% contained now.
But to finish that thought, it costs money for each plane every single time it dips down into the Columbia. And that's not like a small chunk of change. It's actually quite a large chunk of change. And that comes from our city's budget. So,
well, most people don't want to spend their time going to city council meetings like you, but I know that Mike Poyer is looking to make city council meetings more accessible, and I know outreach and transparency is a big part of his platform, and he talks about that on his website, WenatcheeValley.com, so you can go there and get more information about Mike Poyer. But we have limited time here, so I want to get to talk about
the hard part.
Yeah,
get to it.
Yeah.
I literally was just going to say just get informed about the candidate.
Yes, and that's an excellent point.
And more than just what
and
is in the voter
sometimes it's harder to do that than others. I think we can go to WenatcheeValley.com and there's information about Mike Poyer, but not all of the mayoral candidates have websites, or they didn't when we first started the campaign, and information kind of trickles out, and some of it is more private information or more closely concealed information than other things. So, but as far as like a public information that's out there and that anybody has access to, you can make public records requests with the city clerk, with Rivercom, all these public records are on file. So I don't have any ins on getting information. I have filed public records requests to get this information. So I'm not special in any way. I just do my due diligence as a journalist. So when when the campaign started, the City of Wenatchee sent out to all the candidates that were running a sheet on the guidelines on where you can or cannot place yard signs.
Okay.
And there are basic guidelines based off of place, right of ways, city parks. You can't put things on city property. The sign based on how much fence or fence line you have, the size of the sign, things like that. It's very informative. It's very detailed. And there are ordinances that go along with this, right? So this went out to everybody. And I can tell you, okay, I said I was going to stay to facts, right? So I can tell you on a fact basis for the Mike Poyer campaign, how we handle the distribution of yard signs or have handled the distribution of yard signs is you can either go to the website and request it, come to an event and request it, or email or contact us in one way. And we have almost everybody on a list. We've tried to keep everybody on a list because that's the point. You want to connect with your constituents. If people are supporting you by putting a yard sign on their business or in front of their house, like that means that person supports you. And if you're really into outreach and connecting with your community, put them on a list so you can follow up with them, right? That's the way being a mayor works. So we've put them on a list, and we know, I would say in the high 90%, every address and property that Mike Poyer sign is on. And it's hard to get that 100%. So that's just the facts. But we have a list of addresses and contact information for everybody that has a yard, almost everybody that has a yard sign. Throughout the past couple of months in the campaign, yard signs from other candidates have gone in places where they have not been allowed. And we have been asking, like, what can you do about it? And unless if it's on private property, the private property owner can remove it if they want to, but the city can't do anything to remove it unless the private property owner makes a complaint. So we have had some private property owners make complaints, which I found out just by calling Rivercom. Rivercom public records request. It's a non-emergency number. They call into there, and there's a record of all the complaints of, hey, there's a sign on my property that I did not give this person access to put a sign on my property.
Right.
And this is not zero instances has this happened with a Mike Poyer sign. Most of the time, it is with the other two candidates. Up to this point, it's been with one candidate in particular. And so now there was an event this past weekend, a Democratic barbecue that all three candidates were invited to. They got the same amount of time to speak, and they all did. And I wasn't there, so I can't really report on that or tell you how it went. But after that, we started to see a lot of James McLaughlin yard signs go up all over in city parks, city property,
Places
private property, places where they're not supposed to be. But in addition to that, there were signs that were some of my signs on private property that we have placed that, we have now have documentation of that they took those signs and replaced them with a James McLaughlin sign. Or they're just placing them on private property, and there are complaints at Rivercom or at the city clerk that there are now there's now signs on my private property that I did not give permission to put that sign there. And lastly, the big large Mike Poyer sign over by the bridge when you come over the George Seller Bridge, stolen, gone. Who knows where it is? So you come over the bridge, you see Brian Campbell's sign, but the Mike Poyer sign is now missing. I don't give a whole lot, personally, I don't give a whole lot of stock to signs, yard signs. I hated them from the beginning. I'm like, ugh. But look at this picture here is a pile of yard signs that was collected by the City of Wenatchee and returned back to Mike Poyer. And I know for a fact, because there was an email that went out to the 3 candidates saying a friendly reminder, because they were having to remove James McLaughlin signs off of city property. So the parks asked the city, hey, can you send out a friendly reminder that you are not allowed to put your signs on city property? Right. Or remind them that there are rules that you need to follow.
Rules that they were given, guidelines that they were clearly given at the beginning of the election, the race. Once they submitted their name, they got information about what they can and cannot do.
Right.
And I only know that information because you're the campaign manager for Mike Poyer, and so I'm kind of privy to that. And I didn't know a lot of the rules.
And neither did I.
And there were a lot of rules.
And neither did I, but I've had to become very intimately familiar with all of the rules about yard signage. And this doesn't have to do with just political yard signs or anything. This is people who are like, hey, come tanning at my place, or hey, there's a sale down the street. This is all kinds of people that are putting up signage all over town. Like they have to go by the same rules. Everybody has to go by the same rules. Nobody gets special treatment. So I know that friendly email went out and James took it personally. And I know this because I did a public records request with the city and saw the communication exchange between him and somebody at the city, where he took it personally, thought they were attacking him, and thought that Mike was getting personal treatment. So Mike is not getting personal treatment. We have a registered list. James removed all of James's signs off of the property, city property.
I imagine there must have been quite a few.
And he gets them back, right? Everybody gets treated the same.
Right.
So Mike gets his signs back, James gets his signs back. They cost money. Everybody understands they cost money. So you get them back. He gets to do whatever he wants with them. We can only so here's the information. Now, information done. The last 2 minutes that I'm going to spend here, I'm going to give you my input, my interpretation. Somebody that is associated with the James McLaughlin campaign is putting out these signs. Probably not James himself, but he gave the go-ahead. Bought a bunch of signs, finally got some money, got to put the signs out. Right, great. Not connecting with the people who he's putting the signs out, doing a haphazard job of it. They're going like loosey-goosey on the rules.
Kind of reminds me of high school.
It does. It does kind of remind me of high school, right? There was always that guy that went around that was running for, what'd you say, ASB president?
Yeah, or class president.
Class president. That was ripping down the other guy's signs to put up their own. And you know what I used to think about that person? That person's a bully. I really don't like bullies. Because if that's the way that they're going to act while they're trying to get into be the ASB president or the class president, then that's the way that they're going to treat people when they are the class president.
But they're also showing people who saw that sign up before just what kind of person they are, because they don't realize how many eyes saw it before it changed, and things don't typically change and flip-flop like that.
Yeah.
So there are people that are aware. Not everybody, but the people that see it every day, they are aware.
It's not about what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's the don't panic. It's the rule number 1, don't panic. Rule number 2, remember we're having fun. Right? If that's not your philosophy, if this is like, I don't want bully number 1 or bully number 2 running my city. I want somebody somebody that has some integrity.
Yeah, I don't want somebody who's going to be like, your property taxes are going up even more because we went low here and we need to make up this amount of money to do this project. Like, as a homeowner, I don't want that person to be my mayor. I don't. I want the person who's going to follow through with things that are going on or improve things and make positive changes for what the growth rate is, versus somebody who might say, well, you're a property owner, so we're going to raise this. And that just causes people who rent and don't realize that they're, well, I'm just a renter. It affects you too.
Yeah.
But it affects you on a level that does not affect a property owner, because it's how many people living on that property, and all of you are going to be paying well above whatever that property tax actually is.
Yep.
That's the logistic truth of the situation. So if you want to put it in a better perspective, this is something until I got where I'm at, I had no idea. They're actually making money off of renters, because they assume that renters are definitely not going to vote, because they definitely don't feel like they have a voice. But you do. And when you don't vote, or when you don't want to participate, you can't complain when your rent goes sky high, because you had that choice in your back pocket the whole time. And I know I hate talking politics because it feels like talking shop. It's not really like an area of expertise that I am.
Right. We don't have fun talking about politics, but I feel I feel like we have a responsibility to talk about it, especially the week going into, while everybody's going to be filling out their voter pamphlets, right? And what do yard signs really have to do with the future of our city? Absolutely nothing. It's not about yard signs. It's about how you behave. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about what kind of leader you are. And if you're a leader who tells your little cronies to go out and steal signs and put stuff on property that is not allowed, or allowed to do illegal things, or just use bully tactics, that is not the leader for me.
No, it's a terrible campaign to run, because it doesn't show any quality of leadership. It shows exactly what the city doesn't need. We already have gangs, and that's what it feels like to me. It feels like you have all your people and you're doing something you're not supposed to do. Like when gang members go and they tag their tags around the city. It's the same thing.
And you know me, Grayson, I never say anything about a person that I would not say to them directly to their face. Right. That is like my credo in life. So James, if he was in front of me, I would tell him the same thing. And I would actually be afraid that he would punch me in the face, because that's how afraid of him I am. Let that sink in. All right, we are going to wrap this up because we are over time. I want to just remind everybody that we have been broadcasting. I guess we could tell people we've been broadcasting from the Numerica Pack Alley ahead of their Hot August Nights Pack Alley Caberet happening tomorrow night. It's absolutely free. It starts at 6:00. You have the very talented cast of Kinky Boots, the Hot August Nights production, coming up in just 2 weeks here at the Numerica Pack. Going to be here performing in the alley, and you got Crayell Cellars, you have Haran Estates Winery. It's going to be a good time. And then just up around the corner, Norwood, and up there on the Ave, you got Norwood and the Wenatchee Downtown Association putting on their night market on the Ave tomorrow night as well. So lots of fun happening. The weather is going to be hot this weekend. So please stay hydrated, stay cool, check on your littles, check on your animals, check on your vulnerable community, your seniors, and make sure they're all okay and staying cool as well. And we just announced that we have a karaoke night up in Crescent Bar next month, August 12th. Happening at Tower Pizza.
Yeah.
Very fun place. So we hope that you put that on your calendar. If you'd like to book us for an event, a private party, that vintage modeling, anything, you go over to darlingproductionswa.com and you can see our schedule and all of our services over there. We will be back next week broadcasting live from the P2X studios with Dan and Jess, the owner operators of P2X. We're very excited. We're going to be an explosion of pink when we go in there. And we'll talk to them about what P2X is all about and get a little view of their studios downtown as well. Have a good weekend. We are going to be heading out to Lake Chelan for the day tomorrow. Look at this. We've been practicing in the pool with Trenton on the paddleboard. So we're going to get him into the lake tomorrow with the paddleboard. There he is. Cutie patootie. I love him so much. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. You can catch up on past episodes of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast over on our Facebook page or our YouTube page. And we have seasons 1 and 2 up on Spotify as well. And we'll be back next week. Peace out, everybody. Happy voting.